It's time for the super secret drum mission top 10 drum intro list. And, ladies and gentlemen, we don't want Vladimir Putin to find out what this list is. If he finds out what this list is, everything we know will be gone. All right, I don't know why I do what I do. I really don't. Let me switch glasses. I got a little allergy in my left eye. Don't worry about it. I don't know what causes it. I got like 9 doctors working on the thing. Okay, so yes, we're talking about top 10. What do I mean by drum intros? I've never done a top 10 list. I'm excited about this. What do we mean by drum intros? We mean you hear those 2 beats or 2 bars or 4 bars or whatever it is, and you automatically know what song it is. As a matter of fact, if you've got your thing on shuffle and you're listening to it in your home or your car and it comes on, you and the passengers are either singing the drum intro with the drummer or air drumming it and then singing the first couple lines of the song. So that's what we mean. We're not talking about the most polyrhythmic, the most paradiddle-ish. We're talking about recognizable, and that works with the song so well that it is part of the song. Okay, let's get right into it. Number 10. I feel like I need that David Letterman drum roll, but I know it's a drum channel, but I'm not going to do it because then I have to do all this editing, and I don't want to do that. Okay, number 10. This song came out in 1999. It is by Carlos Santana. The name of the song is Smooth, and it was on the album Supernatural. A little history before I get to the drummer. Carlos, we hadn't heard from in a while. He left Columbia Records and he joined up with Polydor Records, and he'd become a born-again Christian along the way. We're not holding that against him. And then he wanted, to have more control over his stuff, and he wanted to do more collaborations. So the lead singer on this tune is Rob Thomas. The song Smooth. You've heard it. If you're my age, you've heard it. In 1999, this song was played on the radio every 20 minutes. I swear to God, it was. And the song started with this drum intro, performed by Rodney Holmes. You may not have heard of him. He is a great, well, I'd hate to say jazz fusion because he plays all the styles. He's done pop tunes, he's done rock tunes, he's done a lot. The mainstay, he tours a lot with Randy Brecker, so he's kind of in that jazz fusion. He's kind of in that jazz fusion bag a little bit, and everything he does is just left of conventional, but he's an all-around drummer. He can play anything he wants to play. Anyway, Smooth starts out with this 1-bar drum intro, and it is so well known. And you may have forgotten it, but once you hear it, you're going to know it, and you're going to immediately think of the song. All right, we're joined by my best friend, Other Glenn. Other Glenn, demonstrate that for us, if you would. Thank you. It was a drum figure, played with congas, maybe a little other percussion too, and the bass played along with him on the last part of the figure. This was played by Rodney Holmes on the album Supernatural. Once again, the intro to the song Smooth. That's it, 1 bar. One more time. Now into the beat. Number 9. This is kind of fun. Number 9. Here's another drummer who played with everyone and was Quincy Jones' go-to guy. So it's no wonder he played on this tune from Michael Jackson, Rock With You. Rock With You. We all know that opening fill. It was played by J.R. Robinson, and the story goes that Quincy asked J.R. to play something in the opening, to give him a bar, 2 beats, a bar that would be memorable. He did. He did. All right, and JR played with everybody as well in the 80s. He was that go-to guy, but he's still playing now. He's still with us. Thank you, JR, for this little nugget. Other Glenn, go ahead. We're talking about the song Rock With You. The drums performed by J.R. Robinson for Michael Jackson. The toughest part is the 5-stroke roll heading into beat 2. Up the tempo, into the beat. Alright, this next one is one that I get to play almost every show that I play. It is part of a genre of fills. We're talking about Motown, and we're talking about the Temptations. And we're talking about a fill to which there are variations of all over Motown music. All over Motown music. The same fill done slightly different ways by different drummers. This is Ain't Too Proud to Beg, and the drummer was Al Jackson. Al Jackson. Al Jackson played with everybody as well. Al Green, Sam and Dave, Bill Withers, and the list goes on. And of course the Temptations, which we're going to talk about right now. This fill opens up Ain't Too Proud to Beg, and it is a 6-stroke roll, and it really is in line with so much of what was going on in the Motown thing. So much so that Max Weinberg plays a variation of this fill in the beginning of Hungry Heart, and the moment you hear it, you think, oh, Springsteen is quoting Motown. That's how known this fill became, and how part of this genre, this fill and variations of this fill are. Other Glenn, show us. Drums played by Al Jackson. This is a 6-stroke roll, starting on beat 3. Starts on the rack tom, to the snare, to the floor tom, into the beat. Slow it first. Here we go. 1, 2. 1, 2. Now, up the tempo, into the beat. 1, 2. Number 7, and this is by one of my favorite drummers of all time. One of many of you guys' favorite drummers of all time. I always get upset when I hear all the stories about how Sting used to kind of yell at him for rushing and things like that. Yes, I'm talking about the Police. Yes, I'm talking about Stuart Copeland. And the song I'm talking about is Spirits in the Material World. Before I get to that, let me just say this. Yes, Stuart admits that he used to rush during some Police shows, and you could hear on some of the tunes that he definitely played ahead of it. But I was talking to another bass player recently, and we were talking about how you can hear on some of the songs that there is a disagreement between Sting's bass and Stewart's bass drum. And yet that disagreement created a groove and a feeling that has stood the test of time for 45 years, and we love it. Does music need to be perfect and put on a grid? No, no, no. You know, I say that almost every video. I'm going to keep saying it to try to get us away from that canned Pro Tools grid stuff. Okay, the song is Spirits of the Material World. This is one of those great little this He starts it on beat 3. I'm going to play it for you in a second, but this this tune basically has no 1, and Stewie admits that, no 1. And so the whole song sounds topsy-turvy, where everybody thinks that the snare is on the end of 2 and the end of 4 until you get the chorus. And Stewie is one of the reasons he sets up that incongruity. Is that real? Did I say that? I don't know. He sets up that topsy-turvy thing, and you love it, and you love it. And the tune is great. All right, Other Glenn. This fill is off beat 3. Beat 3, it's just 2 beats long. I'll do it nice and slow at first and count it with you. 1 more time. Now up to tempo. 1, 2. So we're talking about a song that literally changed the life, the career of the songwriter. And I don't think you can completely divorce the drummer from that song. The name of the song is Born to Run. The writer is Bruce Springsteen, and the drummer is not Max Weinberg. It is Ernest Boom Boom Carter. So, long story short, Bruce had done 2 albums prior to Born to Run. Those 2 albums didn't sell that well. However, I think that his second album, The Wildly Innocent and the E Street Shuffle, is the best of everything Springsteen has done. That's my favorite of his albums, and my favorite song that Bruce ever wrote is Incident on 57th Street, which is on that album. But that album is my favorite. However, the drummer on those first 2 albums was a guy named Vinny Lopez, who was terrible. Bad technique, bad time, overplayed, and the stuff he tried to do, he didn't really do very well. And Bruce had Born to Run ready to go. He needed to get into the studio and record it, but he had fired Vinny Lopez because he was terrible. And Bruce's keyboard player at the time, was a guy named David Sanchez. Anyway, David Sanchez had a friend named Ernest Carter, nicknamed Ernest Boom Boom Carter, who played on the song Born to Run. The album is Max Weinberg on the rest of the album, but the song itself, both the single and the album, they didn't cut 2 different versions. The song is Ernest Carter, who was more of a jazz fusion player, and he brought some of that to the Born to Run session. So I hate to say this. Now, I've seen Max play Born to Run live, and he plays a very rock version. I don't know if this song would have been as successful had Max played it and not Ernest Boom Boom Carter. Anyway, the song starts out with a 2-beat fill, and it goes into a little drum beat. Let's do it right now. Take it away, Other Glenn. Okay, here we go. Right up a tempo. 1, 2. That might have been a little too quick, not sure. All right, thank you, Other Glenn. I'm going to carry that joke to the end. Whether you think it's funny or not, I don't care. All right, number 5. This guy really needs no introduction. If you watch his channel for any length of time at all, even a couple of videos, somehow I always mention his name. I chose him as number 5 because he is really at the center of my style. Whenever I'm not sure what to do with a tune, right away my mind says, what would Steve Gadd do? He is the GOAT, the greatest of all time. Yeah, was Buddy Rich technically faster than him and better at big band? Yes. Vinnie Colaiuta, I would say Vinnie Colaiuta has better jazz fusion chops than Gadd. But overall groovability and versatility, Gadd has played for Paul McCartney and Chick Corea, Stan Getz, and Paul Simon, Steely Dan, and I can't think of another jazz guy at the second. Bob James, there you go. Al Di Meola, a couple of more. He has just played for so many people, Chuck Mangione, and Ricky Lee Jones. So I'm saying he's done everything with everyone, every style. He's 80 years old now, and he's on tour still, or he at least tours with Eric Clapton. My goodness. And of course the song we're talking about is 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover. So Other Glenn, show us 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover. 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover by the incomparable, the great, the GOAT, Steve Gadd. Here we go. Thank you, Other Glenn. Again, I only care that I laugh. You understand? This is why I'm, by the way, ladies, I'm still available. Okay. And probably will be even a few years after I pass away. Okay. Number four. You all know this tune. The gentleman's name who played the part is Bruce Gary. Bruce Gary. He ended up becoming a session player for Rod Stewart, Sheryl Crow, a whole bunch of other people in the LA area, and he was originally part of a one-hit wonder, and that would be The Knack, and the song would be My Sharona. And I look at them as kind of what That Thing You Do was about, because in that movie the drummer became a session guy, and in this band the drummer became a session guy. I think one of the writers of the tune, and I can't remember his name offhand, I'll post it here somewhere, ended up becoming like a real estate agent. They had that one big hit and they really couldn't duplicate it. And one of the things the Knack did was they kind of took on that Beatles look. They wore the thin ties, and even in the original single, they kind of had a mimic. I forget what label they were on, but they kind of had a look-alike to that old Beatles Capitol Records swirl on the singles. And my thing is, even though I thought the Knack, they were all good musicians, and the Knack was My Sharona, was a fun tune, they were basing a lot of their appeal on their novelty of, we kind of look like the Beatles a little bit. Maybe with their harmonies too a little bit. And whenever you do that, whenever your band is based on a novelty, it's not gonna stand the test of time. But regardless, My Sharona is a fun song, and that drum intro is ultimately very recognizable. And Other Glenn, show us. I watched this on YouTube because I wasn't sure how he played it. There's a number of ways you can do it, and I want to see how he did it. And let me tell you this, Mr. Rick Beato, the guy that you hired, Jack Jones, I think his name is, if that is his real name, sounds made up to me. I'm just saying. He did not play it like the guy plays it live, or did play it live back in the 80s as I watched clips. And I watched 3 different clips. So now I think the way that the dude played it is a little cumbersome, but there's an easy way to do it, but I'm not going to do it the way I'm going to do it the way that Mr. Bruce Gary did it. Here we go. Nice and slow, and then I'll bring it up to tempo. Now, up to tempo. Thank you, Other Glenn. I'm going to ride that joke to the end. I hope it bores you. No, I'm just kidding. I hope you like it. Well, I don't really care if you like it. Okay. I keep looking over. I've been having problems with Audacity. I'm making sure it's working. Okay, number 3, and no list would be complete without this. But I gotta say, we tell the truth on this channel, whether you want to hear it or not. I have never been that much of a fan of this band. However, individually, Steven Tyler's got a great voice. Joe Perry, good guitar player. And let's talk about Joey Kramer. I think because of bad technique, he just couldn't stay the test of time, whereas Aerosmith wanted to fire him for their Vegas residency, and he ends up suing them to keep his spot. I wouldn't want to be in a band that nobody wanted me. Anyway, even though I don't really care for Joey Kramer's playing, and I don't really have a great love for Aerosmith, this beat and Walk This Way is iconic. So Other Glenn, Walk This Way. And by the way, how many times has this beat been sampled? I should be so lucky. The first beat that I played that got me recognized in my high school and stopped the kids from beating me up. Here we go. Number 2, and no list would be complete without this one. And I got to play with Mark Farner from Grand Funk several times. He's a great guy, fun guy to work with. I had fun on stage playing with him. But this tune, of course, the drum intro was iconic, played by Don Brewer. I think any intro with a cowbell becomes immediately well known. I don't know why. It's something about maybe something with the cowbell, but this is a really cool intro. I think it's just 4 bars long. I'm actually hoping that I can play it and do it justice at the right tempo, because the little double bass drum that's goes in on it is pretty quick, and I used to be able to do it, but I'm 62 and I haven't played in a while. I may have to practice this one up a little bit. We'll see. Anyway, we're talking about we're an American band with that incredible, I mean, if there ever was a rock intro, this is it. Other Glenn, give it your best shot. We're an American band, number 2. And now let's get to number 1, and why I picked it as number 1. And we're talking about the great Rolling Stones, Charlie Watts, Honky Tonk Woman. Now the cowbell was played by their producer, Jimmy Miller. But Charlie comes in, and I'm telling you, this song is recognizable from one note. Bop, boom, boom, bop, boom, bop, boom, boom, bop. You could find some dude who's been hiding, I'm checking again, who's been hiding in a cave since World War II, and you could walk up to him and he could hear bop, boom, boom, bop, boom, bop, boom, boom, and he would sing back to you, bam, 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 I mean, it's really, yeah, the bass drum and the groove, but it's really one note, the end of 3. So now I'm going to play the cowbell as well. I'm going to do the whole thing, and I'm just going to play you out. I hope you enjoyed this. This is the Drum Mission's Top 10. I've never done one of these. I wanted to give it a shot. Why not? What the hell?